Hola estudiantes virtuales, ¿cómo están ustedes? Yo soy fuerte y puedo hacer cosas difíciles. I am strong and I can do difficult things. You need to believe that. Some of you don't. And when it comes to making a decision, do I work hard and figure this out or do I cheat? You're not making the best decision for you. You are strong and you can do difficult things. Don't give up. Keep up. Keep up with us. Okay, join Google Classroom for a chance to win. If you have not yet, I need this by Tuesday at probably 4 or 5 o'clock so that I can get them printed off. Empezamos a votar el 25 de febrero. And if you want to practice voting, click this link here, practice voting, and it'll show you what it will look like. So when I click here, these are practice rounds, and this is expensive clothing or Nuki. And if you look, you might see that these are artists that you are going to be voting on, different songs, but the same artist. So you're going to watch the videos like they have. And then you see here where it says vote here. When you click on the vote here, this is what you will do on the 25 de febrero. You put your vote in, you say, I'm not a robot, and you vote. So, a mí no me gusta ropa cara. Me gusta Nuki. Me gusta Nuki. I am not a robot. And then I vote, and there it goes. And that's exactly what it will look like on the 25th when you do it for real, for the songs that we are voting on. And if you look here, they have also started a national competition with prizes coming from Senor Ashby, the guy who puts this all together. So if you wanted to be part of the national competition, you can click here and join that. I think prizes are like t-shirts and Starbucks gift cards, stuff like that. So this is for those of you who want to. Here's the code to get you into Google Classroom where I have all the information. I know some of you have done it and I'm kind of excited. Speaking of which, I happen to know that several of you really like the song Agua. Not my favorite, but in honor of those of you who like the Agua song, ¿Cómo estás hoy? Circle the Patrick, which speaks to you. ¿Tienes hambre? ¿Estás confundido? ¿Enojado? Sorprendida. Which of these Patrick speaks to you? Which of these Patrick speaks to you? Right now, today, and I'm going to circle mine in rojo. This is kind of me. This is where I'm at. I'm just going to circle him. That's what I'm feeling today. Yo estoy confundida. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by work right now. So, escribe una frase. Estoy. I'm not going to write estoy. I'm going to write tengo mucho trabajo. I have much work. Estoy cansada. Okay, so I have a lot of work and I'm feeling tired. Estoy cansada. ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? Hoy es lunes, el 22 de febrero. ¿Qué tienes que hacer hoy? Tengo que decir, I have to say, feliz cumpleaños a Kaylee y a Caden. Feliz cumpleaños. Feliz cumpleaños. Sí, hoy es el cumpleaños de Caden. So, feliz cumpleaños a Kaylee y a Caden. So, what do you have to do today? Tengo que decir. I have to tell happy birthday. All right, decir, to say, to tell. This will be on tomorrow's quiz, so make sure you can do decir. Yo, digo. Tú, dices. Besides just watching me do it, join in. Can you write it? Can you write it as quickly as I do? Do you know them? Dice. Okay. Outside of the shoe, decimos. We tell the truth. Decimos la verdad. Y'all tell the truth. Decís la verdad. They tell the truth. Dicen la verdad. Okay. Can you do that? Can you conjugate decir? If you can't, what's your plan to have that in your brain before tomorrow? Today, we're going to do 2 new verbs. So if you want to grab your notebook or your electronic notes, I'll hang out here for a second, wait for you. Okay. Seguir. Seguir is kind of like decir. The yo form is sigo. It rhymes with digo. Sigo, digo, digo, sigo. Then we follow the rule. S. Change the E to an I. G-U. What's the ending for tu? S. Sigue, same thing, but drop the S. Same thing, but add an N. Okay? Sigo, sigue, sigue, siguen. Outside of the shoe, I do not change the E to an I. Seguimos and seguís. Okay? Sigo instrucciones. I follow instructions. Sigo instrucciones. Sigo a mis amigos. I follow my friends. Mi hermano me sigue. My brother follows me. Me sigue. This was also, if you remembered, when we did in Explore and we talked about Gaudí and designing the Sagrada Familia Church, I said, la construcción sigue. The construction continues. It's still going. Sigue. I use this verb in that. Okay? So, sigue. Now we're going to look at the verb conseguir. If you paid attention at all, which is exactly what learning a language is about, pay attention to things. Conseguir is exactly like seguir with a con in front of it. So it's going to conjugate the exact same way as seguir with a con in front of it. So if I follow is sigo, I get is con. Sigo. Digo, sigo, consigo. All 3 of those rhyme. Digo, sigo, consigo. The Spanish language is far more about patterns than I think English is. So in that case, en mi opinión, es más fácil. So consigo. The to form, con, si, guess. Okay. So I copy the stem, the C-O-N-S-E-G-U, only I change the E to an I. I copy the C. I copy the O. I copy the N. I copy the S. I change the E to an I. I copy the G. I copy the U. Now I add my ending. Consigue. Consigue. My dad gets a job. Mi papá consigue un trabajo. Okay. My mom gets a car. Mi mamá consigue un carro. Con se, I won't change it to an I. Conseguimos. Whoops, can you read that? That's an O. Sorry. Con se geese. Oh, I'm back in the shoe. Consiguen. Consiguen. Now, if you notice, I did not draw the shoe on mine. If you're taking notes in your notebook and you want to draw the shoe, by all means do. What makes this stick in your brain? Personally, in mi opinion, I feel like I understand the shoe and I can see it in my mind without actually drawing it. Okay, so those are the new verbs for the day. Let's check your 18th of February, last Thursday's homework. If you hit the link, the enlace, you can go back, you could open it up, and you could go to page 10, and we're going to check to see if you conjugated decir right. Remember, tomorrow we have a quiz, and you'll have to do that. Okay, so ella, dice, D-I-C-E. I know it looks like dice. It's pronounced dice, 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 dice. Los estudiantes dicen, tú dices, los turistas dicen, mis amigos y yo decimos, and, the daughter of my aunt. The daughter of my aunt. Of my aunt is a prepositional phrase. Almost always, I can just draw a line through prepositional phrases and ignore them. So if I ignore of my aunt, basically all that says is the daughter. The daughter would be the same as she. Say. Again, the daughter of my aunt is a prepositional phrase. If I just ignore the prepositional phrase, the actual subject is the daughter. The daughter is a she, so my conjugation is dice. Okay, if you're still on your 18th of February, if you switch to page 18, I have the correct form of the verb. Some of you never conjugated your verb. You have a quiz tomorrow. On the quiz tomorrow, you have to conjugate verbs. The more practice you have conjugating the verbs, the better you know them. The better you know them, the higher your quiz grade. Some of you did not conjugate your verbs. You did not take advantage of the practice offered to you. If you don't have a good grade on tomorrow's quiz, it is because you have chosen not to practice. Some of you are rock stars. So on page 18, the verb is pide, P-I-D-E. Page 19, the verb is dice, D-I-C-E. 20, dicen, D-I-C-E-N. 21, repetimos, R-E-P-E-T-I-M-O-S. I could tell that some of you went to Google Translate because you put it in the past tense. We learned. While repetimos does mean that, please keep in mind that so far we have not done the past tense. Everything we've done has been in the present tense. We repeat. We repeat. We are repeating. We do repeat. Page 22, almorzamos. What are we eating for lunch? Sirven. They serve chicken. 23, guys, that game, that play is going to be on tomorrow's quiz. They play is juegan, and lose is pierden. I saw some of you write peden, which is they ask for. They don't ask for a lot of games, as opposed to they don't lose a lot of games. Spelling counts because sometimes you're writing a totally different word. Number 24 was tricky. I specifically put it in there to trick you, and I caught most of you. Mrs. Collis's son can speak Chinese, but she cannot understand. So the first one, most of you did pretty well. El hijo de la maestra Callis puede hablar el chino. But the teacher, no, is able to understand. Please look at that. No, puede, no puede, no, she is able. What comes after conjugated puede is the infinitive, entender. I don't conjugate it. The correct form is the infinitive. The correct form is unconjugated. I never I never, no exceptions, never put two conjugated verbs directly next to each other, ever. If the first one is conjugated, the second one will be the infinitive, or there will be a word in between them, or there will be a comma in between them. I cannot ever put two conjugated verbs directly together. Puede, can, entender, to understand. Do not conjugate the entender. Be ready for at least one of those on tomorrow's quiz. 25, pierde and puedo. Just because both of these begin with P does not mean they're the same verb. You really do need to be careful on spelling. Page 26, pido and dice, and page 27, vuelvo and dicen. Again, I'm hoping that you checked on the check page to see that you have them right. All right, match the infinitives. You guys have to be able to rock this tomorrow. You have to know how to do those infinitives inside, outside, upside down. You've got to know what they mean. The O to UEs, I have put them in groups so that you can keep them straight. Here's the O's to UEs. Do you know what they all mean? Here's the E's to I's. Do you know what they all mean? Okay. Make sure you have those three card sorts we just did memorized. You have to know all of those on the card sort. Be prepared to conjugate an E to IE verb, an O to UE verb, and an E to I verb. I'm just going to randomly pick one of each. That will be just like what this is, okay? I will just give you the 6 blanks. I will tell you the verb. You conjugate it. I feel like we've spent a month on this. If you don't know your shoe patterns, you're not going to pass that quiz for a very good reason, okay? Make sure you know what those mean. Make sure you know how to conjugate them. Then, right here's the link. You need to, for homework, practice conjuguemos until you know how to do it. Some of you have been rocking the conjuguemos. Rainleen, I am super proud of you. Good job, chica. Get in there and practice your conjuguemos. Be prepared to write original sentences using the verbs querer, to want, preferir, to prefer, poder, to can, to be able, decir, to say, to tell, and jugar. If I was truly concerned about having a good grade on the quiz, I would just start making up sentences right now. And I'll give you a hint. There are 5 verbs, and each sentence is going to have a different subject. So maybe I want, you prefer, he can, we say, they play. They all have to have a different subject so I can see that you can manipulate shoe verbs in all of the different persons, both singular and plural. Okay? Give me a check-in, anything you want to say, any comments, how's it going? Are you ready for tomorrow's quiz? Practice your conjuguemos. I told you exactly what's going to be on the quiz, and I will see you tomorrow. Adios.